Hi everyone, it's James here. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm going to do a second instalment of a video I did quite a while ago now that did quite well and got people talking, so that was nice. It was the one about albums which I still only own on CD. I will link to that down below so you can get some background to this, and just to quickly recap what I said in that video. I've got nothing against CDs, I still listen to CDs, still occasionally buy them. And what can I say? There are just some records which are just very, very difficult to find on vinyl. Either that or I've just never come across them. So I've got 10 here in the pile. So let's whiz through them and see what we've got. So the first one, and this is a bit of a classic item, although it's not in very good condition. It's really rusted. Pill and metal box. You can see here there's a sticker on here that says new, not new anymore. I'm fairly certain I bought this from Polar Bear Records in Headingley many years ago. So obviously this is the record that was released as a big vinyl sized metal canister. Years later it was reissued on CD, and I picked up the CD, as I said, it would have been back in the 90s, and I can't imagine ever owning this record, but I mean, you never know. I don't know how much you'd pay for a vintage copy of Metal Box, but there's the CD anyway. So that's what I've got. I haven't listened to this for years. I used to really like this album. I used to listen to it sort of early noughties in the car. It was a bit of a mainstay, but yeah, only on CD. Okay, next one, a jazz classic, and ironically this is a record that I've bought twice on vinyl, but to give to other people as gifts, and never actually got around to buying it for myself. It's a record that I've been a fan of for many years. I've always loved it. This is A Waltz for Debby by Bill Evans, the Bill Evans trio, I think it is, isn't it? Scott LaFaro and Paul Motion. Just an absolutely wonderful set. Lyrical jazz, recorded in quite a small venue, I think. I'm fairly certain you can hear people eating chicken and chips in the background. Very muted applause. Just, you know, given how accomplished the musicians are on this album, an absolutely brilliant trio performance. As I said, I bought 2 copies back in the day to give to 2 different people. I think they were reissues. I've never seen a copy for myself as yet. Perhaps one day I will, but yeah, Waltz for Debby, bit of a jazz classic. From jazz to punk, so I've got no Iggy Pop, and I've got no Iggy and the Stooges on vinyl. I've got Funhouse on CD, and I've got this Raw Power CD as well, so that's just one that I've never come across, Iggy. And same for this one, Dead Kennedys, Fresh Fruit and Rotting Vegetables. I've got quite a nice 2 CD set of this, with a picture disc for one of them. Underground American punk classic, I suppose. Very angry music, Kill the Poor, Drug Me, Let's Lynch the Landlord. All good healthy stuff, but only on CD. Bit of a reggae classic now. This one again bought from Polar Bear Records in Headingley. I can see by the new sticker. This is the Congos in Heart of the Congos, which is a dub reggae classic, a Lee Scratch Perry production. I remember buying this, it would have been in about 2001, something like that. I think I read about it in a music magazine, thought it sounded interesting, so I got it, and just a bit of a dub classic, really. There is a different cover for this. Now, whether that was the original album artwork or it was done later with different artwork, and this was the original artwork, I'm not too sure. Doug at Fat City Vinyl will point me in the right direction with that, but yeah, Heart of the Congos, only on CD. In the previous video, I showed a Jimi Hendrix album. Which one was it now? I think I showed a Hendrix album. Yeah, I showed Electric Ladyland, and also don't have Axis Bold of Love on vinyl either. So there is the CD. There is a reissue of this that's quite affordable. Just haven't got myself round to buying it. This one, I think this is a real omission from my collection, to be honest with you. I've got a few Kinks albums, not that many. My Kinks collection is mainly gaps rather than records. Really, this is one I should have. An absolutely classic cornerstone 60s record, the Village Green Preservation Society. I've just never seen a copy of it. As simple as that. Oops, So yeah, here it is on CD. Again, I haven't spun this for an awfully long time. Need to get reacquainted with that. Kinks, Footage Green, shocking. This one, I've held a vinyl copy of this in my hands in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I saw it down on the market stand at Heightside Records. Can't remember why I didn't pick it up. Might have been too expensive, but Stopped Making Sense by Talking Heads, which was the first Talking Heads record I think I ever got back when I was a student. I know there's a reissue of this. Richard McCook showed it in a video not so long ago. I think he made a video called "Is This the Greatest Live Album Ever?" So it's been reissued in more recent years with extra tracks on it, I think. But this is an absolutely classic album. I mean, such great versions. Psycho Killer, Girlfriend Is Better, Once in a Lifetime. And these are the versions I heard first before I heard the studio versions. I would pick that up in a thrice if I saw it as yet. But it has happened once, but as I said, I think it was a bit pricey. So this is the problem half the time. I'm just too much of a skinflint to shell out for this stuff on vinyl, particularly if I have it on CD already. Now this one is a 2 for CD, Graham Parsons. It contains his great debut album GP, which I do have on vinyl. Got a vinyl reissue of that, which sounds tremendous. Never got round to buying Grievous Angel on vinyl. I have seen a copy of it. There's an antiques place, or there was an antiques place here in Lancaster, which closed down actually earlier this year. They had a copy in there, and I went there quite a few times and left it behind. It was either the condition or the price or both. But I didn't pick it up, and then the place closed down, so that was the end of that. And that was the only copy I think I've ever seen of Grievous Angel on vinyl. So CD we will remain. Okay, Nick Drake. I've only got his first 2 albums on vinyl, so that would be 5 Leaves Left and Brighter Later. I've got those 2 on reissue. I picked those up quite close to each other in time, and then just never organised myself to get Pink Moon. I think because Pink Moon is probably my least favourite of the 3. It's the most stripped back. Having said that, it's the one I've listened to the least, so I probably should pick up a copy on vinyl. It's often the way when you have it on record, you actually end up spending time with it rather than a CD. But that's a classic album I really should own on vinyl. And the final one did come out finally as a reissue a few years ago. Bit pricey, I didn't pick it up. I did pick up some of the other ones that came out around about the same time. Flaming Pie, one of those records which even non-McCartney fans tend to have in their collections, but I only have it on CD. And that might change one day if it ever gets re-released again at a decent price. That might change, but not for the time being. Anyway, there we go. That's my selection. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.